morning. Welcome to this vlog. We did a vlog last week as well, but we went to Castle Ashbury, me, Connor and Dave, and we didn't get an awful lot, and it wasn't too much to sing and dance about, and there was 20-mile-an-hour crosswind, so you couldn't really hear a word we were saying anyway, not that there was anything important to be said that day. Since then I've done sort of 2 or 3 nights on Linford 1. The way my luck's been going, I mean, I've been out most weekends since November, and that was the last fish I caught back in November when I did a session with David Summerfield on Castle Ashbury, when I had quite a few fish on the LF1, fishing tight to the island. Obviously I had about 5 or 6 fish that day, so since then I've not had any fish, even though I've been sort of out here attempting it, even fishing through ice and stuff. So I thought, well, my luck's got to change at some point, and it may as well change on Linford 1, where all the big ones live. But as usual, that wasn't to happen, and I ended up catching 2 1-pound roach on a snowman setup. So when your luck's not in, it's not in. But I mean, those were nice specimen anyway. But it would have been probably meant a lot more to me if I was actually fishing for them. But Ian kept saying to me, get on Parc Farm 1, and to be honest, I knew it was a better chance of a fish, but I didn't fancy it. I thought if my luck's going to change, I want a big one. So in the end, anyway, I had enough, and I went home and I came back, and I've done an overnighter with Ian tonight, last night, testing his new sulfuric acid bubblegum sort of boilies. Don't know too much about them. He said, I've done them, I've tried, I want them testing. I said, give them to me then, you may as well. Can't do me any harm. So I slung a couple around yesterday on a pop-up combi rig, just with a PVA bag, mesh bag full of pellets, which were the Analysis B.I ones, and I glugged them to the hilt with the Analysis B.I dip, chucked them in the pond, and then 5 o'clock this morning, had this one at £12. Obviously there's not an awful lot of footage. I actually left the cameras in the car last night because I was so unconfident. I mean, obviously in here you've got to fancy your chances. There's that many fish in here, but the way my luck's been going, I just didn't fancy breaking the duck, but it's happened. So thankfully it's got me off, and hopefully may be able to continue on from here. For whatever reason, I always have a dreadful winter. I always try, but my winter tactics obviously need assessing and looking at. But I think next year I'll probably just sit on here and keep the bait trickling in. But yeah, anyway, that's what's happened so far. So going to try and get a bit warm. Rob's coming down in a bit, so I'm going to move my bivvy over because the guys are staying down, but I've had enough for the week now. So I'm going to move my stuff around, try and give it the best chance to dry, and see what's happening a bit later. Okay, well, seeing as I've tested them out and they've ended my duck, better talk a little bit more about these pop-ups that I've been testing for him. Basically, he's looking to bring out an impulse range. Sounds a bit perfumey to me, but an impulse range of pop-up boilies. Basically, he's looking to do a fluoro range. The ones I've been testing this time have been an orange Jaffa and you have to forgive me, some barotic acid. Neither of us can say it. We've had a little conversation about it. The name's on the website. We can't say it. And bubblegum. So yeah, acidy bubblegum melts in your mouth. They're the ones I've been testing. That one's in a bright yellow. The one I had the bite on yesterday was the Jaffa. So I've obviously got 1 rod out on each with the same PVA bag, and he's looking to sort of work on the other flavours this week, but those are the ones that I've had out on the bank this weekend, and like I said, the Jaffa's done the business on the first night, so we'll be testing them. Hopefully they'll be released by spring in time for the single hook bait fishing, and when they're the carp are a bit easier to trick. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you up to date with the testing process. And then hopefully we'll have a few more catch reports by then on them. So yeah, the sun's come out a bit now, and go on, you little leg. Yeah, well, the sun's come out now, and Rob's also made an appearance as well. I've done a couple of laps of the lake, just with some pellets, just dropping them in the margins, see if I can see any signs of any fish. Obviously with the sun coming out, the margins will be the quickest area to heat up. I found one of the white ghosties. and he was motoring a bit just under the water surface, so I've put a couple of zigs on now. Ian's gone up to the location with a solid PVA bag, going to see if there's any sort of his friends there. He's just come back for another couple of solid bags as he's had an occurrence, but unfortunately nothing's happened of it yet. So him and Rob are doing up a couple of Milk-A-Min PVA pellet bags now, which he's gonna run up there and see if he can find any more residents holding up there. But Rob's putting his out now, and I've got a couple of zigs out. Ian's up the top trying to do a bit of stalking. So we've got all bases covered at the minute. Right, well that's it. As I said earlier, I'm going home today. Although there's a mega social going on, none of them want to do the camera work. So we'll have to leave it and see if there's any captures. Then there'll be some pictures to follow. If not, then you know that all they've done is just sat around eating kebabs and drinking cider. So, so the man's work's now done. You nodded. The man's work's now done. I've had a fish, so gonna go home now and do the lady's work while she goes horse riding. But to be fair, I didn't realise I'd be missing a mega social. So the few nights I wasted on Parc Farm on Linford 1 at the start of the week are starting to oh well. Mega social. See you next week. Getting together some of the clothing range. There's some hats, military hat, baseball cap, fleece, some waterproofs, some coats, obviously the hoodies, t-shirts and polos. These are some of the designs that we've had designed for them, and hopefully what the end product's going to look like. But at the moment we're in discussions with someone who's looking to sort of do it all and work with us on that. So hopefully that will be set up quite soon.